Could we have a landfall, tropical system in the Philippines sometime in the 4th over towards the 5th? And that's what we're going to talk about here today. You see the latest from the ECMOF showing this area of low pressure getting pushed towards northwest and then eventually towards the southwest getting skewed apart T-side the northeast monsoon, and that is what is likely going to happen here. So let's break down what that means and how it's going to influence your weather. Now, at least at this time, the Japan Meteorological Agency, yes, does have this as a minor tropical depression. It's not named yet T. Pegasus, still out of the Philippine Air for responsibility, and they don't even have it as a low-pressure area just yet. This is via VADI, but it does indicate what we've been saying all along, that this is going to continue to organize. You can see that area of convection right here towards the west of Guam. Been tracking it for a few days when it was all the way back here, and then it moved off towards that direction. And now you can continue to see it moving this way. But see all this cloud cover right here. That is our shear line. And actually you can kind of see it here. It's completely exposed. Not looking very organized whatsoever. That's what's left of verbena right there. It's actually been continued to get sheared via this shear line. That's kind of what's going to happen. The fate of this storm is going to be the fate of this storm as we look ahead over the course of the upcoming week. And this is really the catalyst for it. You can see our moisture moving off towards north and west. But we have another cold surge that's going to start to plunge in out of Siberia. And when that hits it, it's going to force this to make that turn towards the south and west. And that's why you can see here on the GITs, it goes like that and it bends down. But that doesn't tell the whole story. We want to look at the broader picture here because this is the 4th into the 5th via the ECMOF. Look at the wind field north of that center. And let's actually bounce this over the GIT. Even shows a little bit stronger of a storm. But it also indicates that stronger wind field. And also you can kind of see what's happening here if you look all along this line. See low there. See low there. Another low off the screen. And of course ours right here. So what's happening is our cold surge is coming down. And just think if get put like a piece of paper on the ground and rub your hand across it few times and you'll see it'll create these little pressure ridges, these little ripples. That's what's happening here, but in a broader scale of the monsoonal flow in the Western Pacific. The atmosphere is just interacting with each other with that northerly cold air slamming into that southerly warmer air. It creates these rotations. So, it could be a tropical system and it probably is going to have some tropical characteristics, but in its truest sense, it's not like typhoon type setup. And this is a great imagery right here because just showed you second ago that cold air coming in like that. And then you can see the shear line extending all the way down towards Thailand, extending almost from Alaska here on the Lima D. So, this is what you're going to see if you see on social media people trying to clickbait and blow this up. They're going to zoom in all the way in like that. They're going to go a typhoon making landfall and some more. And yes, it will be windy. It will be wet. But this isn't going to be a typhoon in the sense that you're thinking of. It's going to be more so that interaction with the northeast monsoon. We go through the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. You can see what we're talking about. See how the winds pick up on the 3rd into the 4th. That is our cold surge spilling in past Okinawa and Taiwan and then eventually plunging towards the south. So, the highest of the winds and the heaviest of the rain will be in place from the 5th over towards the 6th across parts of southern Luzon around the Bicol region here as that overall flow pushes towards the south. And I hope that explains it there for you. Now, I hope that the explanations also don't confuse cause there will be the rain. Let's be honest with each other. This is going to move off towards northwest. Our cold surge, look at the north here. There. Winds are going to start to pick up coming down just like that. Smacks into our shear line and that moisture gets skewed and shifted towards the south and west. So we will see rain across parts of Samar and eastern areas of Luzon, especially southeastern Luzon as this slowly runs around just like that along our shear line. We'll probably not see a lot of rain in northern Luzon though, just gusty conditions, some high winds there, but the heaviest of rain will be down towards the south kind of like in this box right there. And in fact, let's just take a look at the Lima day rainfall outlook via the ECMOV. You can see we're talking about as that starts to build. It's going to shift towards the southwest along our shear line. You can even see some of it pulls this way because that's where the line is and it just kind of skews it all apart. I'll just like the graphic right above me right there. That's the setup right there. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening with this. It's going to be big rainmaker. Don't expect typhoon, but we already have minor tropical depression via Vadi, and we could still have tropical system named Kiev Bisa. I highly suggest, so a highly dub, excuse me, that Kali will upgrade this to Namitorm, but we could have Wilma, which would be the next Namitorm via Pagasa. You shouldn't make you whole video. I've done it over the years, but haven't updated it in like 0 years about Cavis, Pegasa Nemastorms and Jais Namitorms. If you're new to the channel and you hear me bouncing back and forth on the names, or you're just new to the Western Pacific, you're probably thinking, what? Laughter, and it really does boil down to the best way that they think that people can be informed. And is personally think it's confusing, but time and time again, I'm told gives people on the ground here in the Philippines that they prefer the local naming system. And who am I to judge? It's the way it's always been done. And if it helps more people and it doesn't result in confusion, then I'm cool with it cause the number one thing is all about getting people informed, updated on these storms and make sure they're prepared for it, right? Make sure everybody's staying safe. Meanwhile, verbena, also known as Kolto, also the same cold surge that's going to kind of skew apart our storm system, or which could become Wilma, is also finally going to push that onshore across Vietnam and increase rainfall out there. And not to mention, we still have scattered showers in parts of Malaysia, Indonesia, over towards Thailand as they continue to deal with the fallout from Senar and the just devastating floods they've seen across that area. So, there's a lot happening in the Western Pacific today just outside of this tropical wave currently located towards the west of Guam. As always though, friends, if you have any questions or anything like that, that's what I'm here for. I'd see in the best to answer them. A lot of times might not answer the questions if it's something very obviously answered in the videos and a Facebook post and just all the social medias that have. For example, if you write me and say, is the Philippines going to get hit by a typhoon? I might be short and just say no or might just point you to these videos where I explain in detail what's going on and kinda it's unlikely. And understand that, not everybody can speak in English very well. That's why I've been translating them into Tagalog recently. So, I hope that'll, that helps out, too. Yisa the way I've shown you right here, the deep mind. It does show the cluster coming on shore in Samar. But, like I said, there's a caveat here that it is just going to be this low, but the big broad range and a lot of rain kind of getting skewed on shore north of that center of circulation. So, very wet, just messy setup here along the shear line, which is going to be the bigger topic, I believe, with this specific setup, not super typhoon. Anyways, alright. If you have any other questions, though, let me know. And, I'll leave you here with this, Junbai Great Doodles. Laughter and gasps, got to laugh at it a little bit, but I hope that this whole explanation here kind of breaks down what exactly is happening with this. Stay safe out there.